Ms. Clark, you've been nominated to the Southern District of New York. It's where most of our securities cases are litigated. And SEC Rule 10b-5 is about as basic as you can get. You want to take another crack at that and tell me what Rule 10b-5 does?
Thank you again for the question, Senator. I regularly confront new issues of law in my practice, and when I do, I thoroughly research the issue.
I know you're going to thoroughly research it, but are you telling me today you don't know what Rule 10b-5 is?
I only have that basic understanding.
Okay.
Today, we're diving into a fiery Senate hearing where Senator John Kennedy put the heat on one of President Biden's nominees for the federal bench, Ms. Clark. Now let me tell you, this was not your average question and answer session. Kennedy's sharp questions exposed some surprising gaps in legal knowledge, leaving everyone in the room stunned. The scene was set for what should have been a straightforward confirmation hearing. Ms. Clark, a nominee for the Southern District of New York, was expected to showcase her ability to make good judgments and take quick decisions. But Senator Kennedy wasn't going to let her off easy. So grab your popcorn because this one's going to be a ride.
You've been nominated by President Biden, served on the federal district court, which means, of course, that the Court of Appeal is going to review all of your decisions. What is the appellate standard of review for question of fact?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I have not worked on an appeal in my 14 years of experience. I believe that it is reviewed based on abuse of discretion would be this.
No, it's clear error.
Clear error.
As the federal district court judge, you're going to have a lot of discretion on determining facts. How about if somebody appeals one of your decisions and they say you made a mistake on the law? What's the appellate standard of review?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Again,
You're welcome.
I mentioned, I have not worked on appeals. If a question like that came before me, I would thoroughly research the law. I understand that there's de novo review, abuse of discretion, and clear error are the different standards.
Okay, but you don't know today the answer.
Thank you for the question, Senator. It would be
welcome.
something that I would need to research further.
Okay. How about a mixed question of fact and law? What's the standard of review on that?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Again, my understanding are that the different levels of review are de novo, abuse of discretion, and clear error.
Well, but that's a question of law and fact is different.
Thank you for the question, Senator.
You're
Again,
welcome.
in my 14 years of experience, that is not an issue that has confronted me.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been nominated for the Southern District, I think. Is that right?
That is correct.
So you'll see a lot of securities cases?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what SEC Rule 10b-5 is.
That's a rule that deals with fraud. I have not litigated a securities matter. If I were to confront one, I would thoroughly research Second Circuit and Supreme Court precedent, and I would apply the law to the facts.
Ms. Clark, you've been nominated to the Southern District of New York. It's where most of our securities cases are litigated. And SEC Rule 10b-5 is about as basic as you can get. You want to take another crack at that and tell me what Rule 10b-5 does?
Thank you again for the question, Senator. I regularly confront new issues of law in my practice, and when I do, I thoroughly research the issue.
I know you're going to thoroughly research it, but are you telling me today you don't know what Rule 10b-5 is?
I only have that basic understanding.
Okay.
Let's pause here for a moment. This isn't just about one person struggling under pressure. This hearing raises critical questions about the qualifications and vetting process for lifetime judicial appointments. If a nominee doesn't have foundational knowledge in key areas of law, what does that mean for the integrity of their rulings? By the end of the hearing, one thing was clear. Senator Kennedy had delivered a masterclass in probing questions, but Ms. Clark's inability to answer left many of us scratching our heads. Is this really the best we can do for such a critical position in our judicial system? So, what's your take on this? Should Ms. Clark's apparent lack of preparation disqualify her from this nomination, or do you think it's fair to expect that she'll thoroughly research every issue as it arises? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the moments that shape our country. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.